human rights are laws. Like the different types of laws, they are dynamic concepts and are subjected to different interpretations, different lectures, different ways of addressing them. This is not different from the human rights to water. The human right to water has been developed and interpreted by different scholars, has been appropriated by civil society in their struggles in order to have access to a better service, and is subjected to different ways of looking. So, based on that, the human rights to water has been a very important way to address the access to water. And one important achievement on these dynamics was a publication by a committee of the Human Rights Council in 2002, the Committee of the Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, that in this General Comment 15 is the name of this publication. The right to water was well established under different concepts, different interpretation, and we have now, after this General Comment 15, a very important ground to interpret the human right to water. According to this General Comment 15, the access to water, looking at the human rights concepts, should be an access that considers the concept of availability, accessibility, affordability, acceptability, and safety. Safety, name it, especially water quality, that protects the health of the individuals that consume this water. Another important mark in this process was the approval by the General Assembly and the Human Rights Council in 2010 of resolutions that explicitly recognize the human right to water and sanitation, and in 2016 the human rights to water and sanitation, so establishing distinctions between these two rights. After these resolutions of 2010, the states are binding to protect, fulfill, and respect the human rights to water in their territories, but also with extraterritorial obligations. So after that, we had a legal basis to accomplish to the human rights to water in the several nations around the world. I'm very hopeful for the next few years, because when we have a legal basis to the human rights to water, a clear recognition by the nations, we have two sides of this dynamic. One side is the legal obligation of the governments to accomplish with the human right to water. And the other side is the right of the population to claim for these rights. So it's not a little achievement to have these both sides established after the two resolutions in 2010. And there are other progresses after the resolutions. For instance, the approval of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, in 2015, that is very much grounded in the basis of the human rights right to water. When we look at the Goal 6, that's specifically for water-related aspects of the development, and particularly the target 6.1, that is related to the right to water and considers an access of an universal accessibility, but also to an affordable access to water for all. So we have a lot of challenges still if we look at the monitoring of the status in 2015 under the Millennium Development Goals, we can see that we have almost 700 million people around the world without a safe access to water and sanitation. But looking at the legal basis, the legal ground of the human rights to water and to the SDGs, I think that we can have a different picture in the next coming years, especially in the next 15 years.